Aboriginal people. So a little bit of terminology. I'm just going to poll the audience really quickly here. Terminology is a tough one. We see Aboriginal peoples here, but let me just see, raise your hand if you think First Nations is the best term to use. Right, let me see you raise your hand if you think Native is the best term to use. Where's Bill? Nobody to raise their hand. Bill left. Okay, sorry. What about Indians? Raise your hand if you think Indians or Indian band is the way to go. The good news is you're all right, because the rule that I tell people when it comes to working with Aboriginal peoples is always go with what they're calling themselves. Some people are totally happy to be an Indian. Hi, I'm Bob and I'm such and such an Indian. That's really cool. We do that. I can roll with that, roll with them punches. And some people would be deeply offended. Hey man, don't call me that. I'm called an Indian because Christopher Columbus was lost. He was blown off course. And then Canada tried to assimilate us. They'll have a whole painful conversation with you about why they're not Indians. So you always want to go with what they're calling themselves. That's the best terminology to give. And if you're really stuck, you can just call that old band office after hours and listen to the recorded message. And that'll tell you what they're calling themselves. So there should be no reason why you don't come up with the right terminology. A little bit more complicated in a venue like this where we have lots of Aboriginal peoples from across the country and across the province. But Aboriginal peoples, 2 words together, S on the end. That's our constitutionally correct terminology. So if you're doing corporate communications, tech resources, committed to working with Aboriginal peoples, if you said Aboriginals, they'd be like, we're not Aboriginals. We're Aboriginal peoples, and our rights are constitutionally protected rights. So they really fall onto the legal piece. The S on the end denotes the collective nature of Aboriginal rights. Their rights are held collectively by a group of people, not individuals. I've seen political leaders in the country send letters to the minister. Hey, one of your guys is calling us people. We're not people, we're peoples. Our rights are collectively held, and that's how we prefer to be addressed and dealt with. So broad written communications, Aboriginal peoples. Beyond that, go with what they're calling themselves, First Nations, Indian, Native Investment and Trade Association, Calvin Helene's organization, Native Women's Association of Canada. So there's places where people really follow that, and that's why I say the best thing you can do, go with what they're calling themselves, and you'll be in a pretty good place. A little bit of research up front will definitely help you there.